Hello everyone. In this video I am going to show you how to work with grids. Let me show you how to create a new grid and how to modify it. These lines are the grid lines, and here you can see the coordinates, which represents x-axis, y-axis. To modify an existing grid according to our requirements, just double-click the grid lines. Grid settings window pops up. Then you need to enter the coordinates that determine the distance between the lines. Let's start with x direction by changing it into 0, 4,000, 3,000. The first number is the absolute x coordinate, while the numbers following it are relative distances. If you look here, you can see the labels. You can change the labels to whatever you want. For example, I am going to change this labels as 1, 2, 3. The same applies to the y direction. Again, you enter coordinates which are 0, 4,000, 5,000 for example. And then change the y labels as A, B, and C. Here you see the apply option, just press apply. Now you can see the changes in the distance as we entered.
One little trick which is worth mentioning about labels is that instead of enter A, B, C, D, E for example, we can just write A dash Z. Any extra labels will be ignored. And if the user adds some more grid lines to the Y direction, the labels will automatically appear.
The same trick can be used with numbers as well. So instead of writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can just write 1 dash 100. Once again, the extra numbers will be ignored. In Comosys, as a general rule, pressing the apply button will apply the changes. But keep the dialog box open for further changes. Pressing OK on the other hand will apply the changes but also close the dialog box. Coming back to the grid dimensions, the same concept applies for Z direction. Just double-click the grid lines and the setting window opens. Then just go to Z coordinates and enter the coordinates as 0, 5,000 and 7,000. Click Apply and OK. You can see the grid formed at the 5,000 level and 7,000 level along Z-axis. One important difference as compared to the X and Y directions is that the numbers given for the Z-axis are all absolute levels and not relative to each other. As you can see, Comosys has created Z grid levels.
All these X, Y and Z levels are now snappable and can be used to enter objects wherever we need them.
In Comosys, almost everything is created by specifying some points on the screen. As such, the grid provides a snappable set of points to make our job easier. We will learn how to create other points outside the grid later. If you feel you don't want to see these Z-planes while working in a 3D model, it's just simple. Just go to the grid settings window. You can see the visibility options for the levels here. Just disable whichever levels you don't want to see. Then just click Apply and OK. Now you can see its visibility has been turned off. If you want to modify an existing grid, it's very simple. Just double-click the grid lines and change the coordinates as you want. Here is an example. We just modify some distances and coordinates. And now you can see how the grid has been modified now as per the changes we made. In Comosys, while a default grid is provided with a new model, you can also create new grids. Let us open a new model to show an example. You can see the default grids here. In order to create a new grid, go to Edit option. You can see the Create New Grid button here. Just press this button. A new grid will immediately be created at the location of the current work plane, with Property Editor dialog box open. We can now modify this new grid just like we modified the existing one. If you are not familiar with how to modify the current coordinate system, please watch the relevant training video about work planes. Once we are satisfied with the current settings, we can press Apply or OK. New grid has been created with the modifications we made. Now I hope you understood the concept of creating and modifying grids in Comosys. Thanks for watching.